The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, a sharp vibration that sliced through the quiet hum of the dishwasher. Mark's hands, still damp from washing dishes, froze mid-air. His wife's name glowed on the screen. At the spa with the girls. Be home late. The words were innocent enough, but something about them, maybe the brevity, maybe the timing, clawed at the edges of his gut. He typed back, fingers trembling with a mix of instinct and dread. Say hi to the guy in the blue shirt with you. He hit send, then stared at the screen, heart pounding like a war drum. The reply never came. Mark and Sarah had been married for 9 years. Their life a tapestry of small joys and quiet compromises. They'd met in college, bonded over late-night coffee runs, and shared dreams of a simple life. A house with a porch, maybe a dog. But lately, the threads of that tapestry had started to fray. Sarah's late nights at work, her guarded phone, the way her laughter seemed reserved for someone else. These were the splinters Mark had tried to ignore. He'd told himself it was stress, that her new job as a marketing consultant demanded long hours. But the splinters had grown into shards, and now, as he stood in their too quiet kitchen, he felt them pierce his chest. The idea to track her phone had come weeks ago. A shameful impulse he'd buried until desperation unearthed it. He'd installed the app late one night, guilt gnawing at him as he synced it to Sarah's device. Just to ease my mind, he'd whispered to himself, but the truth was uglier. He didn't trust her anymore. The app had pinged her location sporadically. Her office, the grocery store, their home. But today it showed her at a boutique hotel downtown. Nowhere near the spa she'd claimed. And the photo she'd posted on Instagram, a blurry shot of a massage table, had a reflection in the glass door. A man in a blue shirt, his face obscured but his presence undeniable. Mark sank into a chair, the wood creaking under his weight. His mind raced, stitching together fragments of doubt. The way Sarah had started wearing perfume again, the late-night texts she dismissed as work, the way her eyes darted away when he asked about her day. He wanted to believe there was an explanation, something mundane to dissolve the knot in his stomach. But the silence after his text was deafening, a void that screamed betrayal. He grabbed his keys, the metal cold against his palm, and drove to the hotel. The city blurred past, neon signs, honking cars, the pulse of a world that didn't care about his breaking heart. At the hotel, he parked across the street, his breath shallow as he scanned the entrance. The lobby glowed through tinted glass, elegant and sterile, a place where secrets could hide in plain sight. He didn't go in. Not yet. He needed proof, something tangible to anchor the chaos in his chest. His phone buzzed again and his heart lurched. A new text from Sarah. What are you talking about? Just me and the girls. The lie was so blatant it almost felt like a dare. He typed, deleted, typed again, settling on. I'm outside the hotel. Come down. He waited, the seconds stretching into an eternity. No response. Then movement at the entrance. Sarah stepped out, her face pale, her eyes scanning the street. She wore the red dress she'd bought for their anniversary, the one that made her look like she could conquer the world. Behind her, a man in a blue shirt lingered, his hand brushing her arm before he retreated inside. Mark's vision tunneled. He wanted to scream, to storm across the street and demand answers, but his body felt anchored to the seat, heavy with the weight of what he'd seen. Sarah spotted his car and froze, her expression a kaleidoscope of guilt and defiance. She crossed the street, her heels clicking against the pavement, each step a countdown to the end of everything. Mark, she said, sliding into the passenger seat. Her voice was soft, but it carried an edge like a blade wrapped in silk. What are you doing here? He laughed, a hollow sound that scraped his throat. You tell me, Sarah. Who's the guy in the blue shirt? Her eyes widened just for a moment, before she masked it with a frown. You're being paranoid. I told you I'm with the girls. There's no guy. Don't, he snapped, his voice cracking. I saw him. I saw you. I tracked your phone, Sarah. You're not at a spa. You're here with him. The confession hung between them, raw and ugly. Sarah's face crumpled, not with guilt but with anger. You tracked me? That's what this is. You don't trust me, so you stalk me like some creep. Stop it. Mark's shout echoed in the car, startling them both. He gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles white. Just tell me the truth. Are you cheating on me? The silence that followed was worse than any answer. Sarah looked away, her hands twisting in her lap. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely a whisper. His name is David. He's someone from work. It's not what you think, but I don't know how to explain it. Mark's heart shattered, the pieces jagged and sharp. Try, he said, his voice breaking. Try to explain why you're lying to me, why you're here with him instead of at home with me. Sarah's eyes glistened, but she didn't cry. I've been unhappy, Mark. For a long time. You're always working, always distant. David, he listens. He makes me feel seen. It's not about sex. It's about feeling alive again. Each word was a dagger twisting deeper. Mark wanted to argue, to remind her of the nights he'd stayed up planning their future, the sacrifices he'd made for their life together. But the truth was, he'd felt her slipping away and done nothing to stop it. He'd buried himself in work, in routine, hoping the distance would fix itself. And now here they were, strangers in a car that smelled like her perfume, and his regret. I trusted you, he said, his voice barely audible. I loved you. I know, she whispered. I'm sorry. Sorry wasn't enough. It couldn't rebuild the years of trust she'd shattered, couldn't erase the image of her with another man. Mark stared out the windshield, the hotel's lights blurring through unshed tears. He could forgive her, maybe in time, but forgiveness felt like surrender, and he wasn't ready to lose himself too. Get out, he said, the words cold and final. Sarah hesitated, her hand on the door. Mark, please. We can talk about this. We can fix it. He shook his head, his throat too tight to speak. She stepped out, the door closing with a soft thud that echoed like a gunshot. As she walked back to the hotel, her silhouette fading into the night, Mark felt the weight of his wedding ring, heavy and useless on his finger. He drove home, the city a blur of lights and shadows. The kitchen was still there, the dishwasher still humming, but it wasn't home anymore. It was a museum of their life together, every dish and photo a relic of a love that had died. He sat at the table, the phone silent now, and let the tears come. The pain was raw, a wound that would scar but never fully heal. And in that moment Mark knew. The man in the blue shirt hadn't just taken his wife. He'd taken the future Mark had believed in, leaving nothing but echoes and a heart too broken to trust again.